and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing part 2 of our dragon from Enchanted Forest. This is what we did in part 1. So if you've not seen part 1 yet, I will link that up in the corner and you can see it all sort of starting to come alive. But we're doing this in budget gel pens. Not sure how many packs we'll need for this because this is obviously a double page spread. But yeah, we've got the corner done in the first section. So yeah, check out part 1. If you've seen part 1 already, then yeah, we're ready to go to part 2. That's dry because I did that yesterday. But I think what we're going to do today, because remember I was saying about how we're going to break up doing all these leaves so it's not quite so monotonous. So we'll start today again with some more leaves. And then we'll probably do the same as we did yesterday, so we'll do some leaves and then we'll move on and finish with doing a bit of the dragon. And you know, hopefully there will be no gel pen accidents when I put my hand in it either, so that would be nice. So yeah, let's get started. I will just zoom you in and get you sort of, you know, looking in on the side so that my hand isn't in the way. Yeah, see you in a sec. These are the two colours we're using. I've still got a wedge of paper behind the image. This is because we're so close to the spine and you can see the book moves, so that helps with the cushion. And you should have paper behind your images anyway, because when you're pressing down, the ink on the back might imprint onto the next page, so we always have paper underneath anyway. And then I've got my scrap paper here, just where I can test pens on, and also this is what I'm going to rest my hand on, so to hopefully not get glitter all over me and or, you know, stamp the page with wet gel pen. So in fact I've got 2 sheets there, but I don't need 2, I'll just do 1. So yeah, let's do some more of these leaves. Now, another thing that I referred to yesterday, I mentioned that, you know, obviously I'm doing it with this pack of 10, but if you do have just like a whole bunch of budget gel pens that you're using, the colours might be slightly different. Even if it's from the same set, sometimes you can get slightly different tones of ink where it comes from different batches. So what we're going to do is we're just going to patch, you know, leave little gaps, I guess, for want of a better word, in our picture. And then if we get to the end, obviously if we run out at the end, then the last thing we want is to get 2/3 through our picture and then it will change colour with a different ink. So we'll deliberately leave some spots here, and then if we have enough ink of the same colour pens at the end, then we can come back and fill them in. But if we do have to change up the colours a little bit, or you do, or you know, however you're doing it, because we are doing it as a buddy colour along, it doesn't have to be a colour along. I'd love to see your pictures even if you do it, you know, completely differently from me. I'm just happy to see you doing this picture because it's a really cool picture. But yeah, if we do run out of ink, then it's going to be more natural to put in some different colours throughout the picture as opposed to just like one corner. So on that note, I'll stop talking and start colouring because that's what we're here for. So we'll do some of these middle ones, I think, just in this gap here. What should I do them in? I do prefer this light green, which is this the limey green. So we'll start with this. As you can see, the paper is still moving a little bit because we're so close to the binding and it's a bit squishy, but nothing too bad. And hopefully, you know, maybe after today's, or at the worst, part 3, I'm not sure how much I'm going to get to do today, we'll start moving away from this spine of the book and the problem will be solved. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed part 1. I know not everybody might think about doing a picture like this in gel pens. There is a tendency, I think, for a lot of people, because the images, the prettier the image is, the more people tend to want to do it in, you know, pencils and shading and just make it look really good, which is obviously, you know, fine. But my point with doing this picture is to just have a bit of fun and also to show that, well, that gel pens can be quite flexible. and that also a detailed picture, or you know, a good picture, for want of a better word, you know, something that's not just a mandala or, you know, something like that, can still look good using a simple medium, or a budget medium even. You know, it is what you make of it, and at the end of this it's going to be as that, and that's the important thing. No matter how you do it, whether you do it with, you know, top-notch artist pencils or paints, watercolors, whatever you wanted to do it with, or Crayolas, pencils and gel pens and fine liners, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day it's your picture, and when you colour it in, you know, there is no picture that looks like it in, you know, anywhere. It's even when people try and do the same colours, or you know, if you did do this as colour along, even following what I do, your picture is still going to look different. It's going to have little you know, bits of your colouring style and personality will be in it. And so, as I said, I think I said it yesterday, I can't remember, I talk so much nonsense sometimes, I can never remember if I'm repeating myself even. But my main goal with these colour alongs is just, you know, for people to actually colour the pictures and not sitting there going, I don't want to ruin it, oh, I don't, it's so nice, I don't want to ruin it, and then it never gets coloured. And we do want to colour our pictures. So by the time you see this video, as I say, I'm filming it all in advance this time, so I know this is going to be not going to be up on the channel for at least a couple of weeks. By the time you see this video, I will have just come back off of a week's holiday. I'm doing a little staycation, because, you know, COVID, we've all had to redo all our plans. I hadn't planned a staycation, but this is what we've ended up with, and it's still better than nothing. I mean, at one point I did think there wasn't going to be anything. Whilst the COVID thing is getting a little bit hairy again, shall we say, it still seems to be relatively under control, as long as people don't start doing stupid. Hopefully this isn't words that you know, as I say, this video is going to be up on the channel like 2 weeks from now, so hopefully things haven't changed so much by then. Maybe I don't get my holiday. Oh, I'll be annoyed. So anyway, the staycation is going, I'm going to a place called Bath. It's a city in the west of England, so it's about 3 hours from London. Oh, is this pen finally running out? Because it's not got much ink in it. Yeah, I think that's finally run out of ink. I'll give it a tap just in case. See if we can dredge out just a little bit extra. So yeah, it's about 3 hours from London, and we've got a little sort of apartment thing. It's not Airbnb, but you know, it's kind of like that. But it's self-catering basically, which means we can, you know, gauge the situation when we get there about whether we want to eat out. We can, but if it feels uncomfortable or we just don't want to do it all the time, then lucky me, I get to stay home and cook. But you know, even so, it's nicer cooking somewhere else, even if it's on holiday, than it is cooking at home, if that makes sense. So yeah, that'd be nice to get away. Hopefully it won't disrupt the videos too much. I'm going to try and get a couple of videos up, you know, to upload while I'm gone, because yeah, whether I'm going to be that organised or not, I do not know. So I think I'm going to do, I'll just leave those big ones as the blanks, and we'll go back to these little little ones. So yeah, I'll try and do, you know, upload a couple of videos. Just go over the top of those, because if you missed it, the reason why we're still going over the top of leaves that are in black is because when we tilt the page and you'll see all the glitter shining, that way you'll still see glitter on those leaves. Can't remember what I was saying. Whatever. I know I was talking about my holiday. Uploading videos, was it? I don't know if I'm going to be that organised, but I'm going to try. I'm generally not a very organised person. I have the best of intentions, but unfortunately, when it comes down to it, I don't always put it off. But I'm still waiting for, what was I filming the other day? Was it scavenger hunt? Something, I think it was the scavenger hunt. If you've not seen that, I'll link that in the corner. But I was filming the scavenger hunt and the delivery man came, and that was a package from AliExpress. Now I've got 3 things were on order from AliExpress, and that was the second one to come. I'm still waiting for the third one. That was over a week ago, and I ordered them all virtually at the same time, all within a day or two of each other. So I'm desperate to film this haul video. Hopefully you will have seen it by now. It depends if this third one turns up before I go on holiday though, or not so close to when I'm going on holiday that I simply don't have time. Sorry, I'm wibbling. This is not a whip and chat. I'll save talking about that. Actually, I'll do a whip and chat tomorrow. So I don't think I'll use this pen anymore because it's as good as dead. It's like I can see there's next to no ink in there, so I'll probably only get a leaf done out of it. So I've got another, is this the same colour? Yeah. Again, there's no point starting that. Why have I got an empty pen in my thing? Like, what is even the point? Okay, so let's get one out the packet. Okay, so this is the same pen. Get it going. Right. It's not unusual to have to tap a gel pen to get it flowing, especially the glitter ones, because like a little bit of glitter can get stuck in like the little roller ball. But tapping it on a piece of paper, you know, obviously nib down, that will clear it. Sometimes you have to do it a few times. Now I know yesterday I did a little bit of shading in black on some of these leaves, but I'm going to leave that now. I'll do all that extra detail I think at the end, because then I can see the overall effect of adding the shading with the black gel pen. I just have to be careful because obviously my hand will be moving across the paper, and while it won't smudge it at that point because it'll all be dry, you do still get glitter everywhere. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do about this border. because when you look down to the bottom here, this corner is basically the top, same as the top corner, it's just been inverted. So I think we want to do that the same, because I've only just noticed that because I noticed that this is the same as that. These inner bits don't seem to be the same. So I guess it's like basically this darker bit is like a frame. So we'll leave that bit again because we'll do it in the same colour as whatever we use for that. And we will keep it symmetrical. So that means, do you know what, I'm just going to do these little in this light green because I think it belongs more with that style than the bee leaves. Okay, so let's, where were we here? So let's start with that. We'll see if we can get all this corner done. Now that we're knowing what we're doing in here, this should be a bit quicker. And then we use the dark green for these ones. I left out a leaf. How did I not see that? Okay, so into these darker ones. Oops. Doesn't matter if you have an accident, go over the edge, because one of two things will happen at the end. Either I'm going to put a background on. Don't ask me yet what kind of background, but it's an option. And then alternatively, we'll just ignore it and carry on. If there's no huge blunders, if there's just a little splodge here and there, trust me, nobody is going to see that tiny little mistake in this huge picture. So we'll just carry on, pretend it didn't happen. We did it all the way to, so we did that one. We did that one dark. And we did this one's dark. So that one, let's just do it bit by bit. So this was all in the light green. I must remember, that's the thing about having it zoomed in and having you closer to the page a bit more. Like I forget, I move down the page and then I forget you're not moving with me, and I don't often lose you off the page, but you do get a bit close sometimes. And we did these in light green. Oh yeah. So there should be lots of music on this one. I'm not talking as much as I was in the Busy Worlds one, which the Busy Worlds one seemed to consist quite a lot of me going, oh, I've missed a bit. Oh, look, there's another bit of wood. Oh, there's another, you know, do you know what I mean? Or there was a lot of decision making, so I was like, well, what should we do this? This is obviously, whilst the picture itself has got a lot of things going on, when it comes to decision making, it's obviously a lot simpler. So you get lots of nice music. I know a lot of people, that was a surprise of the colour along for the Busy Worlds one, that people was watching it even when they weren't actually participating, because they just enjoyed having like a little bit of music on, maybe a little bit of listen to me talk, because it's, you know, a bit of company, I suppose, maybe, or just, I call it my YouTube radio. I do exactly the same. Like, I'll be listening to a YouTube video and I just glance up occasionally to see what's going on, but it won't be something that I'm actually, when I say I'm not interested in it, I am interested in it. Now what do? We did that one. Yes, we did that in light green as well, but it's just like something that I have on while I'm colouring myself. Obviously not colouring myself, I'm colouring a book. Colouring myself would be weird. But yeah, I totally get that, but I was surprised by it all the same. Now, was this? Yes. So yeah, maybe you're just watching this again. Let me know in the comments if you are. If you're just watching this or listening to this. It's not quite an, what do they call that thing? ASMR? Where it's just like kind of quiet. I'm not that quiet. I mean, I think I come across fairly quiet in videos. I can control myself. That's why. In real life, there's no filter. I'm a lot more noisy. The volume control. Yeah. When I edit my videos, I can control my volume. Real life, not so much. But yeah, I guess maybe it's just, you know, enjoy a little bit of music or a little bit of yapping. Me yapping, talking nonsense. But let me know in the comments if that's how you're, whether you're actually doing this colour along or whether you're just along for the ride, so to speak. Do these in. We did these. Does that bother you? I had that at an angle. I don't know whether a jaunty angle would bother you or not. It's straight now. Right, so we've got these. We're going to do these again in the light green. Yeah. Sorry, you can't see it. I'm checking the top of the page to see what we did up there. So basically, if you're not sure what to use, whatever you used at the top, we're doing the same because it's symmetrical. But as I say, she's only done this particularly dark outline. It's a bit, the whole frame area is done sort of in more bolder ink style, and that's the bit that's symmetrical. Thought I'd stuck my finger in it then, but I got away with it. Right, so you know what I forgot there? I forgot to do the black bit in gel pen. What do we do those in? We did them light as well. Does that annoy you when I miss a bit and you're like, you missed a bit, and I've not noticed? Right, so that's all we did there on the frame. We stopped there, so I think we'll stop there again, and we'll probably do that in a different green, but by leaving a little gap as well, that helps ensure that we don't do any mistakes. Right, so we do have that. What do we use that? And we used the pink. Oops. Do our little oh. There we go. Right, and we'll do a little bit of, so let's do a little bit more of in here, because we can do what we like in here. This bit isn't symmetrical, so I think we will go for, we're gonna have a different green now probably, so we'll use our light green. Sorry, that's a bit high up again. Is that better? There we go. Yeah, being zoomed in and also it being quite a big picture, I'm like, I must remember. I mean, I have the camera is like, this is the camera and this is me. Like, my mouth is right next to my phone. So if you hear me heavy breathing, I do apologise. I did that before in another video. It was probably funny then. See, now I get caught out for doing the same joke twice. Okay, so let's just do this. I don't think we'll do much here because I'm a bit nervous about sticking my hand in this bottom bit now. I probably should have done this bit first and then moved down. But I didn't want to forget that it was symmetrical. So we have done quite a few leaves though, so perhaps having done the leaves for, yeah, nearly half an hour, perhaps we'll move on to our dragon. Perhaps that's how I should do it, split it half and half. Half an hour leaves, half an hour dragon. And we'll just do this leaf then in this dark green. Yeah, and then we'll switch, we'll just do this one. You don't have to do it this way, you could just colour over the whole thing. I prefer to do the outline because it helps me not be clumsy. Go over the edge. Go over the edge is bad enough as it is. It's not because I don't see the edge, it's because I'm in, you know, I get a bit overconfident. Right, let's put away our green gel pens and we'll move on to our dragon. Right then, dragon. So yesterday we was using red, orange and yellow or gold, whatever you want to call it. This is one of my old ones, so it's not got much left in it now. These two are still brand new from the packet, so yeah, where's my scratch paper? Okay, so we'll have that back here. So I think what we'll do, should we do his, let's do his whiskers before it gets too difficult to reach. And I think, so I know we're not going to be able to see much of the colour over the black, but we're going to do it anyway, because sometimes it's the teensy tiny details that we, that at the end of what makes a difference, even though you can't see it as an individual compartment. So component. So let's start. Sorry, this big ugly sheet of paper, I know, but it's a necessary evil. So we're just going to go over the black very carefully with the red. Now, I don't know if it actually shows up on camera, but you can see the red gel pen, glitter gel pen. It's subtle, but it does make a difference. It's no longer just black. It's no longer black and glittery. You know, it's not just the glitter. There is just like this hint of red. So it does work. It will pay off. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do the black, and then just where it comes over, we're not going to do much, but we're just going to bring it out slightly, because we still need room for our orange and our yellow. But we'll basically do the same as what we did for his ears. Right. And then we'll get our orange. I'm just going to go over that bit. And then we'll get our yellow. And we'll join the two up. And the same here. Just dragging. It's like I was saying, this is where we actually, the advantage, usually the gel pen staying wet is a disadvantage because is so easily smudged, but when you want to blend them, it's an advantage. Yeah. Sorry, I just had a little moment there where I thought I hadn't pressed record. It's like my biggest fear, to do a whole section of a picture, like a colour along, and find I've not pressed record, or it corrupts or something like that, and I'd be like, I would lose the whole middle. It would just make me so sad, because I'm a nerd like that, and I'd be like, no. See how I bring, because the orange works so well with the red. In fact, I was thinking, I haven't made up my mind yet. Oh, that was a noisy motorbike. Sorry, I haven't made up my mind yet whether to put a second coat of red over this, or whether to actually put a second coat and use the orange, because then it would make it it would still be red, but it would be like a more fiery red, if you know what I mean. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Okay, so that's that whisker done. We'll do the same on this side. if you can't see it on the video, hopefully when you do this yourself, you'll see exactly what I mean. Black is never truly black. So when you put something over the top of it, you do, oops, right. Good job his body is going to be red as well, isn't it? I made a right hash of that. Was I saying something before? I probably was. No, not that one. Yellow. So. I get so easily distracted from speaking anyway. I lose my train of thought. Clearly, I'm not someone who can pat their head and rub their tummy very well. Right, so we're just going to go along here as well for his eyebrow. Again, I'm going over this black bit, the black ink. Well, that's what I was talking about, wasn't I? How you can still see colours through black. So we're not going to do much in red there, we're just going over the bottom because we're going to do it. Maybe we've gone a little bit too orange, so we'll just bring up this red a bit more, a bit higher. Okay, that's better. And then we'll have gold. Lovely. Right, so we'll have that a straight red, I think. What do I want to do his eye? Good question. I think we'll do that combination of orange and gold. We do the orange and gold first, and then if we decide that we want the red in it, it's easy to add the red in afterwards because it's the darker and the stronger colour. Whereas if you go with the red first and then don't like it, obviously you can't take it away once it's there, not gel pen. Yeah, that's alright. I'll just bring in a little bit more. Make his eyelid red. But we'll just give him a little highlight. Just a teeny bit. So you can see, basically, we're doing, when it comes to the blending, we're doing the same thing over and over, which is red into orange, which is into yellow. So we'll just do some little reds in here. They're not very big, so I think we'll skip the orange for that. Just go straight into the yellow or gold. Okay. And as for his eye, what should we do for the eye? I'm gonna leave the eye and make up my mind about that later. As for his gums and teeth, well, the teeth I'll be happy to make these yellow fangs. So we're still quite near that spine, which is annoying because it keeps popping up. And I don't want to use the clips to pin it down because one, it's a really big page so it's hard to manage, and two, I don't want to damage the paper. I mean, when it's something, a cheaper book, you might not care if it has a dent in the paper, but I'm a bit more precious about this. Let's go for the Oh, I've just realised I've missed out the blend up there. Was you yelling at me? You've missed a bit. Again. So I'll do that. I've not done orange, have I? So I'll get the orange there. You'll see that obviously I went over that a lot more in the yellow, bigger area than there was available. But that's okay because orange has a lot of yellow in it as well. It brings up the colour, which is why it looks so fiery, I suppose. So I'm just going to do each side of this just in orange. Okay, we'll make up our mind about the eye later. Let's aim to get the rest of his mane or whatever it is done today. So we was doing, again, we've got the reds. So basically we're using Johanna's guidelines here, where she's putting the black shading. That's where we're counting that as our darkest colour, which is the red. Which is why sometimes they just fade out to yellow, but sometimes we're having the tips in red. So that one had the red at the top, but this one we won't bother because because it's quite a long bit of hair. We can extend this a bit further than the other ones, can't we? The same again. See, anybody who thinks this is hard, when you break it down like this, it's not hard at all. It's repetitive is what it is. We're just doing the same blend over and over. But it works. I really like it. I really like this red, orange, gold, how it's working out on him. So let's just do, yeah, we'll do the in a bit, because if we do too much of this out here, then we'll be, there's a risk I'm going to stick my hand in it. Decide how we're going to do these outlines. I think we'll just keep them darker. We'll skip the gold on them because we want them darker. mostly red. We want red to be the dominant colour in this bit. Okay. So I'm going to have to turn the book a little bit. I try to keep that to the minimum. Same with the zooming in and out. I actually edit that so it's just in and it's just out, so that you don't get the whole vertigo experience. How should we do that? Okay, so let's get back into this area. See, so even though this and this is red, and so is this middle bit, because we have the black underneath it, it changes the shade, so they still feel separate from each other. That's the beauty of grayscale, though. This is very obviously simplified type of grayscale. To doing this outline then. Some of these inner bits. to the red. And I'm just making sure that I'm getting the red next to where it's the yellows and the oranges, because obviously where I put the yellow and orange, it's only a small area in this bit, but I don't want the yellow and orange in this outline to be alongside the yellow and orange there, because then it just won't stand out. It'll just turn into one great big one. So we just make sure they don't overlap. Doing pretty well, isn't he? I think. Do I want to do any more? Do you know what? I don't. No, I nearly put my hand in this green. Fortunately, it was dry. Just a bit of glitter. No smudges. Few. So yeah, I think this is where I'm going to leave it for today. So we've done well. Let's just zoom out, and I'll, then you can look at the picture as a whole. Okay, so that is us zoomed out for the moment. So yeah, we've got all of this edge of the border done. Mostly, oh, I've missed the leaf there. I'll come back to that tomorrow or whenever I get back to do part 3. And we've got obviously part of our inner foliage done. But yeah, nice bit of, oh, look, I'm rubbish. See, I'm like, oh, I missed a leaf. Oh, I missed all of them. I got distracted by that. I forgot I'd not done them hairs. Well, that gives us something to do tomorrow. Anyway, yes, that's the story so far. It's not going too bad. I mean, obviously we've probably done, well, not even 20%, is it? But it's still a fairly decent wedge of colouring done, and we've still not made a dent in our gel pens. So far, so good. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. If you are joining in, let me know. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and obviously it really helps the channel and helps people see these videos so other people can join in the colour along. And yeah, I hope to see you for part 3. If you've not subscribed, obviously, hit the button. Go on, you want to. And yeah, then you'll get notifications of when the next parts come up, as well as my other videos. That's all for today though. Take care, see you again soon, and bye for now. Bye.